There are many classic snowboarding games, like 1080 Snowboarding and SSX, but this is not one of those. In all seriousness, is this a decent game? Well, listen up and I'll tell you my thoughts. When you boot up the game, you'll see this menu. You can choose between the career mode, multiplayer, arcade mode, custom outfits, and custom vehicles. First I'm going to cover arcade mode, because the game doesn't differ much from it in other modes, and I think it's the best way to play. This Marcus guy summarises it fairly well in rad terms I guess. He says you need to shred until you run out of tickets and set a high score. Now you might be thinking, tickets? Are there microtransactions then? And weirdly enough, no. At least not that I know of. I mean, it is a good thing, but still. Anyway, each time you play arcade mode, you need to reach at least one objective. Otherwise you'll lose a ticket, lose 3 tickets, and the game displays your best score. The ticket system essentially works like lives, but why they aren't just named lives is beyond me. Fortunately, the objectives are pretty easy to achieve, as they mostly consist of grabbing geotags, those things floating on the course, doing stunts, racking up a certain amount of points, etc. So now we know what arcade mode is for. How does it play? The controls make sense in theory, but don't actually feel like they should. Basically, as you start on the hill, the sensitivity for moving the character is way too sensitive. I end up flying all over the place, but as you pick up pace, it gets a bit easier to control. I thought naturally it'd be the other way around. Anyway, the cool tricks are really fun in my opinion. Yes, they definitely feel clunky, but once you get used to them, they work surprisingly well. You use the left analog stick to do moves in the air, just the one stick, and you can press down A or B to jump or help with tricks, or you can hold down B in the air to grab your board for more points. There are other controls like changing the view and a really bad photo mode, but they don't really do much for me. Another part of the controls I found interesting is the HD rumble. It's pretty much pointless, but considering massive games like Minecraft don't even support it, it's a nice touch. That and it sounds like a dying NES. Now career mode is, as you'd imagine, as close as this game gets to a campaign. It's essentially a slightly more structured version of the arcade mode. The only significant differences that I notice are that the objectives are always the same for each level, as opposed to random, and it's how you unlock things. The unlockables consist of stages, cosmetics for your character, and vehicles. Talk about them later. So how do you progress then? Well, by racking up points of course. The more points you earn, the higher your level increases. But weirdly for the stages, the way you unlock them is by increasing your score multiplier. As you do more objectives, the multiplier increases. So there are in effect 2 ways to level up. Yeah, that makes complete sense. Multiplayer is basically the same as arcade mode, except you can obviously play with another person, and there are no objectives, weirdly. Now onto the unlockables. In the customize tab, you can change the look of your characters, clothes, and snowboard. There are different types, colours, and sizes to choose from, but all of them have no effect on gameplay from my experience. But some of them do increase your score multiplier, so they can make progression slightly quicker in campaign mode. Now the tab that's the most intriguing to me, the vehicles. There are 3 types of vehicles to choose from. The snowmobile, the snowcat, basically just a small box with tracks, and a helicopter. Right. Not only do these vehicles have different colours to suit your fancy, but you can actually upgrade them with better engine, suspension, tracks, etc. So far I haven't used any of these, so I'm not going to say any more on them. So let's get back to the original question. Is this game worth picking up? If it's for cheap, then yeah, I got it for less than £2 or $3, and for that price I'm having a good amount of fun with it. Any more than that, and the lack of polish and proper progression makes it a hard sell, especially when the menus lock up for some reason. So that's the video. If you want to switch to play it on, please consider my Amazon UK affiliate link below. If you have any thoughts on the game, please share it in the comments. I'm really interested to read them. With all that said, you know the rest. Thanks for watching.